it's going to be phenomenal. I think we're going to hit it out of the park this time. That's what I think.
All right. Anyway. Hey, guys. I'm Steve.
Hi, Steve. I'm Dennis. Oh.
You knew whichever one you want.
Can I?
Camera 1, camera 2, camera 3.
Is that how we're going to label them?
Tell the people. Anyway, yeah, so, we just did this. Technical difficulties. Very frustrated. But we're trying some hot wings. Hot nuggets.
Yeah, remember, so we're going to try to get Wendy's to sponsor this thing. So Wendy's, if you're paying attention, hashtag Wendy's, we're using your nuggets for our not hot ones challenge. But basically, it's a hot ones challenge.
Yeah.
We found, what is it called? It's called Desert Fire hot sauces, which I found out tonight are a Walmart exclusive hot sauce. I got these at a Christmas bingo game last year, and they have just been sucking up sweet shelf space in my house. So I wanted to do an artist-on-artist conversation, and I wanted to have some hot sauce be a part of it because hot sauce is a part of my life, I feel like. And I think we're gonna hit it, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
So we're gonna do the brown sound for the second time.
Is that really what it's called?
No, I said
son of a bitch.
It's not the brown sound.
You said that the first time, and I was like, really? And I still believe it.
No, this is the sweet chipotle sauce. It's a delicious blend of sweet and spicy.
That's right, it squirts. It's a squirter.
It's a squirter. And you only want to eat half the stuff.
I'm a squirter, Dale. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Name that movie.
No.
What?
I refuse.
Really? I'm a squirter, Dale. Do you not know the movie?
I'm familiar. All right. As we discussed, it's sweet.
That's good flavor, yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Got a little bit of a kick.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to start with the first question. So, Steven, what were your earliest inspirations? And specifically, not the things that you just liked, but the things and the people that made you want to do.
Okay. So, growing up, my dad's always been in bands, in reggae bands. So, I would often kind of sit in on practice time and, it'd be blaring loud in like my dad's basement or whatever it was. And I would always just kind of absorb that. And, sometimes I would even fall asleep just to the loud noises. And it was great. So it was super cool to like have that from birth till now. And I think that was probably my biggest like driving force towards music. It's just like always been around it and everything. It's just always been a part of my life and in my blood and everything. But when it comes to like visual stuff, because I draw a little bit too in photography, but like I would always draw like out of issues from like Nintendo Power. I always collected those as a kid, and I still have a bunch somewhere. I don't know.
Did you have a subscription though? I had a subscription growing up.
No, I did have.
Did you ever draw on one of those envelopes? Try to send it in.
I did.
Yeah, because they would publish those, and I so desperately wanted to get my envelope published in Nintendo Power.
It's so funny that you say that. It's funny that you say that because I never got. I think I sent in like 2 maybe, if not just 1, but never got them published that I saw. But I did write into them because there's a video game up there. It's called Lufia 2 for Super Nintendo. But I wrote to Nintendo Power, not knowing that Nintendo didn't make this game.
Dear Mr. Nintendo Power.
Yeah, give me a sequel to this video game. And they graciously wrote back, and I drew on it, actually.
Did they actually write back?
They did.
Shut up.
Mm-hmm. I have it somewhere. I know I have it somewhere. It's probably in a box over there. But I wrote to them, and I drew out the logo on the top of this page that I wrote out. Like, oh my god, I love this game, blah, blah, blah. And they wrote back, not super long after, actually, like maybe a month or 2. So it was like pretty fairly swift.
How have I never known this?
I don't know. That's super funny. But they wrote back and they're like, hey, I'm glad you love the game. Blah, blah, blah.
Signed, Mr. Nintendo
Signed, Mr.
Power.
Nintendo Power.
Do you remember what you drew on the envelopes? I remember I drew Banjo-Kazooie on one. Because it was like, that was at the end of like Nintendo Power. Because because at the beginning we talked about Mario 2 was the first cover with the claymation Mario. But I remember, they went into the 64 days. I don't think they made it to GameCube. I think is before that.
I think they made it to GameCube.
You think so?
I think so.
But I remember I did a Banjo-Kazooie.
Maybe even to Wii. Because I remember seeing recently someone had a cover and it was Ninja Gaiden, but it was the newer versions. Oh. But I could be wrong. But I feel like they made it past that. But no, I did draw, I believe, Ninja Turtles on one of the art things that I drew in. But yeah. So anyway, Nintendo Power and my dad being in bands, that was kind of like the biggest, I believe, driving forces.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And look at you now, eating hot sauces with me at midnight. You're gonna have weird dreams tonight,
It's gonna
bro.
be great. I'm gonna have weird something tonight, that's for sure.
Just don't elaborate.
I cheered you, but we just took a bite out of this, and
It's fine.
you don't want my germ.
I don't know if you heard, but COVID's over.
I'm gonna edit that out.
That was a joke. Yeah, like salty and a little spice.
Mm-hmm. By the way, I'm not drinking because
Oh.
it's hot. I'm drinking.
This is
'cause
a
I'm
tumbleweed
thirsty.
teriyaki hot sauce, by the way.
Yeah. So if you ever want to know what tumbleweed tastes like, it's pretty good. I like it.
Want to take your second shot at your first question?
Yeah. So, Dennis, this guy, Dennis is kind of a jack of all trades also. And, Dennis has done music, he's done short films, books, novels, novellas, I guess you're called, but he's writing his first novel, or he's releasing it soon. Blah, 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 blah. Comics, what have you. But Dennis has always written from a very, deep spot, in his life at that moment in time. And I'm curious to know, between your two most recent releases, Brushfire and Cold World, what were you writing from at that point in time when you were...
When I think before when we had started talking about this, you talked about with the weirdos, like the flying squirrel. I mean, there's a lot of aspects of that book in particular where I was dealing with a lot of specific things that when I describe the weirdos, I describe it as, I gave these characters my defects.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of how I went there. But Brushfire is a story about family. It's a story about a lot of stuff. It's a story about wildlife who loves science and who love going on adventures. But when I started it, I wanted it to be a story about family. And I started it before my mom passed away. One of the main characters in the book, her name is Ava Marie, and she's based on my mom. And I created her while my mom was still here to honor her. And now that she's passed, she's here to honor her in a different way. And so the spirit of family only got stronger with Brushfire as all of those things in my life happened. So family is the big part of that book. With Cold World, that family aspect also extends into spirituality and religion. And I've never really tackled spirituality or religion head on in anything that I've done. And that's what I'm doing with Cold World. It's just it's this big sci-fi epic that takes place 200 years in the future, but at its heart, it's about what do people believe in? There's characters in the book who believe in something too much, and there's characters in the book who don't believe in anything at all, and they seem to be kind of dangerous types. And there's some people in the middle, and that's kind of where I fall. My spirituality is, I guess, fluid is the best way I can describe it. I don't believe in nothing, but I haven't found that thing that I go, oh, that's the answer.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And I'll bring us into that cell talk that you were talking about. I've been kind of obsessed with this idea of, as above, so below, to where I think that the entire universe is just kind of built the same way from the biggest to the smallest. And that goes from how our universe operates to how you and I operate, to ants, to down to our cells, to our particles. Everything can have consciousness. When you think about cells and particles having consciousness, then all of a sudden ghosts make sense. Because, if they have consciousness, they could have memories.
Mm-hmm.
And we can't prove any of this scientifically, so you also can't disprove it. And that kind of stuff is really interesting to me because, I haven't found that thing to believe in. I don't have that organ that...
And it's almost kind of like that relativity is kind of infinite. It's infinitely large.
Yes.
And it almost even loops back around to infinitely small. And it's like we were saying earlier, that's something that I also thought of since I was a kid. What if we're just cells or, in someone's blood or molecules and this giant titans, whatever. And yeah, that's something I always thought about that kind of keeps me thinking there's got to be something bigger than what we are, or even smaller.
And that's, we were talking about that line, the universe is bigger than God from the Weirdos, and that's that whole idea. It's not saying that God isn't real, it's saying that the universe is so big, it could be bigger than this God idea that we have, why are we stopping there? Because I think a lot of people, they find the thing that they think makes sense to them, so they ignore all the problems with it, and then they don't keep looking for the thing that makes all sense, because I haven't found that yet. And so, so spirituality and family is, I would say, the two main things that are really personal to me right now, and that's what my future projects are about.
Mm-hmm. And do you think being in lockdowns with COVID and that feeling of isolation, because I know we've talked about Cold World before and how, there's a lot of isolating themes to it. Is there kind of similar themes in Brushfire, or do you kind of keep that towards Cold World?
If anything, if Cold World is about isolated people like reaching out for community, I think Brushfire is kind of the opposite. It's about this really thick community and realizing maybe they don't appreciate it like they should. And so hopefully by the end of it they do, but it's very much about community. But yeah, you meet these people in Cold World, and a lot of them are isolated. I mean, the idea of cold is multidimensional. Mm-hmm. It's not just the planet is cold all the time, which it is.
Right.
It's a lot of other layers to it. And so yeah, I would say, you got community in one, you got isolationists in the other, but hopefully by the end of it, like the idea of the value of other people in your life is kind of evident in both.
Cool.
All right, we got number 3. This is the farthest we've made it.
Yeah.
You excited?
So
we've got
you guys are caught up now.
Yeah, you're all caught up. That was kind of just I think we kind of covered everything that we talked about. I think.
Yeah.
The first time around, I think we made.
We actually did it in record time.
We did it faster. I think it was more stylish this time. I feel like
we got the rust off. Whatever that means. We talked about less graphic adult themes.
And we can go back to eating whole Nuggies now if we want to.
Oh shit!
Look at that.
That's garlic, so
It's
I like
the garlic hot sauce.
All right. Well, let's get some Nuggies out of the way. It's dripping.
Here we go.
Dripping.
Here we go. Go.
Oh my god. Mm-hmm.
I slurped that up.
Yeah, you did.
You have not mentioned that website once this time around, though.
I know. We're getting
and you did several times before it.
We'll get there. That's good. So far, the flavors are really good.
Yeah.
It's not too hot. I feel like it's definitely hotter.
And we're getting hotter. And so far, I feel like my instincts were right. I put these in a row just based on like kind of what I know about hot sauces. And I mean, so far, it's been pretty accurate. Yeah. If it gets hotter than that, I mean...
We're in for a night. Especially with sizzling scorpion over here.
Yeah.
These off-brand hot sauces.
But you know what? Maybe they're not off-brand. Maybe the other hot sauces are off-brand, and these are the actual hot sauces. All right, so my second question to you.
Yeah.
What percentage of your song lyrics are autobiographical versus more abstract or emotional or storytelling? Like, how much do you actually tell about yourself in your song lyrics as opposed to just being more abstract about it?
That's very interesting because lyrics have always been harder for me to write. I'm more of a instrumentalist, and then I write lyrics on top of it. And to get kind of the juices flowing for lyrics, I would write in a journal. I still have it. It's on my computer. And every now and then, something poetic would come up. I'm like, oh, that's a cool line, or that's a cool, idea, concept, and that would kind of fuel what the songs ended up being. So I would say, if I had to put a percentage number on it, I would say at least 90% is like straight up very personal. Like if you were to ask me what a particular song is, I'd be almost embarrassed to talk about it more often than not, because it does get pretty deep. And
do you think that's reflected in the lyrics? Do you think that do you think that your lyrics are as naked as you think they are? Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I understand.
Like, because you know exactly what something's about. Do you think that you write in a way that's abstract to the point where people don't necessarily know what you're talking about?
No, I don't think I write too metaphorically. I think, the things that I do say in the songs, if you were to just read it, you'd be like, okay, I get it. I do have a little metaphor in there, but I think the point does come across that it is definitely personal for just about all this stuff. And yeah, I think more people would get that than not.
So you think it's a pretty high, like you said, like 90%? You think it's a high percentage?
Yeah. Ooh.
It was a little hot. Now we have Casa de Peppers, which in English...
House of Peppers?
It's House of Peppers, which is a rap group from the 90s. Is that right?
I think Jump Around or something. Is that...
This is called Tangy Tijuana, which makes me feel... okay.
Do we
hot sauce
drink
with
this?
Green Tabasco peppers. Well, we're going to...
So, quick note, I love green Tabasco. Like, I put that on just about everything.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Because it says with green Tabasco peppers. Is Tabasco a pepper? Like an actual name of a pepper? Because until right now, I did not...
I didn't...
I thought Tabasco was like the name of a company.
Yeah, Tabasco, that's what I thought. Because on the green Tabasco bottles, it says jalapeno peppers.
This one smells like a good kick.
So,
all right, so here we go. This is with these fictional Tabasco peppers that I
So
heard so much about.
to go a little light on the questions, I'll go first. So you were 12 years old. Give me your ideal Saturday morning.
Oh boy.
Like, nothing could go wrong. What's your ideal Saturday morning?
So does it have to be when I was 12 years old?
No, just
Well,
even from now's perspective. When you're 12, obviously Saturday morning cartoons aren't a thing now.
no. So
I don't think.
I was 12 in, let's see, 97 ish.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I was 12, well, man, 12 is like a weird age.
I was gonna go like 10.
Because, well,
Or
here's the
even-
thing,
or
as a
even 7.
kid it's easier, and as a teen it's easier, but like 12 is like right there, and I'm thinking like 97,
That's
like,
what I was aiming for.
it's kind of like right past, like, it's kind of, actually 12 is a really sad age. Can we just talk about that real quick? 12 is really
it?
sad, yeah, because that's when you have to start to accept that you're going into a new phase of your life.
Yeah.
Because once you hit 13, now you're a teenager, and now there's new expectations for you, right? And so that's the first time in your life that you have to start letting go of nostalgic things. You have to start letting go of, like,
Do you?
I mean, you're supposed to.
Yeah.
I mean, 20 years later, I failed miserably. But
Here we are.
if you really think about it, that's the first time in your life that, like, you are cognizant of this change happening.
Yeah. Sure.
That 12 is a really sad age, man. Why'd you pick that age? Because, like, I'm thinking 97 now. I'm already past, like, my Power Rangers and Ninja Turtles phase, right? And then I'm trying to figure, like, what is next for me? I think in 97 they did the Star Wars re-releases, and I think that's probably when Star Wars really hit me the most, because I wasn't around in 77, or even when the last movie was released.
Yeah.
In 97, the special editions came out, and everyone goes, oh, people still like Star Wars, and then the prequels came out, and now it's like, it's never going to go away. Thank God. Huge Star Wars fan. But, so 97 was probably when I started to discover Star Wars. I think I was really into Goosebumps at that time, so I mean, like, you wake up.
Yeah.
Can I tell everyone about my very first book series? And I have a cover. I should send it to you, but it was called, wait for it, Shivers.
Like you wrote this?
Yeah, I wrote this, and it was called it was a series called Shivers because Goosebumps,
Yeah,
right? Like
right,
I had to like differentiate myself, and not
Right. Yeah.
not too far. And basically, I would take like a plot of a Goosebumps book, and then I would just change the words a little bit. And I was writing these Shivers books.
Excuse me.
After my mom passed, she gave me like, not she, but I got a big box of my old stuff.
Yeah.
And in there were some Shivers covers, and I was like, oh man.
That's like,
And I
did you
must have
draw
been-
them?
I drew the covers, and then I, like, on a typewriter, typed
Holy
up
crap.
pages of
That's
Shivers.
amazing.
Yeah. And,
For those who don't know what a typewriter is.
yeah, I mean, we don't have time for that.
Yeah.
But
That's funny.
so I think, I'm 12 years old, okay? I wake up. I'm really into Pokemon at this point because, it's a year or two out. So, I mean, I wake up, play some Pokemon maybe, because 97, right?
Yeah. About 97, I think is about when
Play
it came
some
out. Yeah.
Pokemon, right? I got my player's guide next to me, so I know when to evolve my Pokemon, when to give them the right moves.
Where to catch the right ones.
Definitely, there's still cartoons on. I'm guessing, like, Biker Mice from Mars and, some of the post, like, Power Rangers stuff, the rip-offs were on at this time. I watched some of those rip-offs.
Yeah.
I still like them. I watched some cartoons. I mean, I rode bike a lot, like BMX bike as a kid. I was part of, like, the biker gang in the neighborhood, and we go to the jumps.
Dennis
I
the
was,
Menace.
Oh, no, not at all, though. Like, I was the kid who was terrified of the jumps, but I'd go to the jumps with everyone
great.
else. So, yeah, we'd BMX bike probably all day long. I mean, I come home. I was a creative kid like you. I'd probably draw some stuff.
Yeah.
And then some more Pokemon, and then
Side note, you mentioned biking. I was like the last of my friends to learn how to ride a bike. Just coincidentally,
And what's weird is you're 34. And
I know.
it's like, how did
Dennis
you...
taught me the other day. Yeah.
Wait, so how old were you when you learned how to ride a bike?
I think I was probably like 11, 12.
Really?
Yeah,
So your perfect day when you were 12 was to learn how to be...
a child again. Yeah.
Wow.
I know. It was weird.
When did you learn how to swim?
Right away. Like I can't remember not being able to
It's
swim.
so weird when I see something and someone can't swim. I'm like, how do you not swim? Because I don't remember learning how to swim. I just swam.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
Like,
me too.
yeah.
I remember like being in diapers swimming.
But biking, no. You're like 12
No,
years old.
I was too busy swimming in diapers until a few years ago.
Until a few years ago. All right, up next, we got Howlin' Hot. Mexican style.
Is there a
hot
wolf on there?
sauce. Yes.
Woo-wee, boy!
Yes, there
Let's
is a
do
wolf
this.
on here.
Of course, there's a wolf on there.
The Wolf of Wall Street hot sauce.
that doesn't
Hashtag Leo DeCap.
That doesn't look too liquidy.
No. Something else is going to look liquidy later, though. Eating all this hot sauce. Talking about poop.
Shut the hell up. Talking about poop. All right. Don't touch your eyes.
Thanks, Sean.
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely hotter. I can feel it creeping a little bit.
Wow. Okay.
A little less flavor, a little more heat. Still got some flavor in there though. It's good.
You guys got like the picante flavor. That's legitimately okay. All right. Question for you. Number 3. All right. What do you think people are sleeping on now? That hit me. Wow. What
Just
do you,
swallow wrong or what?
a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
What do you think people are sleeping on now that will be massive in the next 5 to 10 years, assuming humankind makes it that far?
That's funny.
That's not funny though.
That's hard. That's a really hard question. What do I think?
So like, what are you like into that like other people are like, nah, that you think is going to be like, it'll be a thing within like 5, maybe 10 years?
Yeah. God, that is really, really difficult. I can't think of like anything that like stands out right now that I'm like the only one into. Tentacle porn? I don't know.
That's already a thing.
That's a thing.
I mean,
but it's not a big thing. It's a thing.
It depends on what country you go to.
That's okay. You're right. If it's Japan, that's a big thing. All right. So big things now. God, I don't know. Terminator Genesis, just because it's right there, and like I felt like I was the only one who liked that movie.
So everyone's sleeping on Terminator Genesis right now.
Yeah.
You think that
Well, it's about time travel, and they're gonna, be in the future, and then people will be like, you know what? Let's check this out again. And they're like, it's prophecy, come true.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did not expect the level of insight out of that question
Thanks,
that we
John
got.
Connor. Spoiler: John Connor turns out. I'm not gonna spoil that movie. Have you seen that movie?
No. Hey, in about 5 to 10 years, I'm going to catch up on it, and I don't want you to spoil it.
All right,
for
cool.
me, okay?
Yeah, let's watch it.
All right. Up next, this is just called pepper sauce because they don't care. It's by New Mexico Chili Co. This was kind of a wild card for me. I don't know. There's cayenne and habanero in it, so I really didn't know. So I kind of put it in the middle.
Ooh.
Oh, here.
I felt a kick of that howling.
You know what? The howling has been the hottest so far, like by a good measure. It kind of made me cough.
Oh, this one's thicker.
Can you do that sound effect? That when they cough on hot ones and it's like all echoey. Can you do that?
We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, it's
I got like a
dripping.
little crevice I could just put this sauce into.
Yeah. Where's this crevice
Oh
located?
my god, it's right here. Just stick it in my crevice.
So Dennis. Okay. I swallowed wrong on that one. That's what she said. So, as y'all can see, I collect movies and games and stuff. Dennis also is a collector of several things.
Mm-hmm.
You collect movies and comics. What else do you have some Pokemon cards, I think. Do you still have Pokemon cards?
I have a nice collection of Pokemon cards and Magic cards. I actually have like, so Pokemon and Magic are like my biggest card collections, but we collected a lot of cards at the time, so I got like Harry Potter and Sailor Moon.
Oh,
and
really?
Just like, yeah. I actually have a really good collection of Boy Crazy cards. Have I ever showed you those?
No. What?
So, I don't know if anyone remembers Shinders from back in the day.
Way back in the day.
But when Shinders was closing, we, came up here and we were looking through stuff, and they sold a whole box of this card game called Boy Crazy. And it was like $3 for 36 packs.
Like Backstreet Boys?
It was just called Boy Crazy, and there's just a bunch of boys on this big purple box, and we were just with a bunch of friends. I was in high school,
Yeah.
and so like let's
Looking
buy
at
this.
boys, yeah.
Let's buy this.
You bought this.
Well, we bought this because it was a game, and so we brought this home. We opened it up, and what it was is you just shuffle all these boys together. it sounds crazier explaining it, but anyway,
Yeah.
you shuffle all these boys together. You deal out like 5 boys, right?
Are
And
you're
listen,
dealing 5 boys?
Yeah, you deal out 5 points to
Okay.
every person. Now you have 5 boys in your hand, okay? And you're looking at them, and they all have like stats, like eye colored, height, all
my
this kind of
gosh.
stuff, right? And you look, and you decide which boy you would like to date, okay? Then you put it out, and you see if your friends know you good enough to know which boy that you would date. That's how you play the game.
So do you feel like you were kind of the market for these cards, or
I mean, for $3, yeah.
obviously, yeah.
And we ended up playing all night. It was like really fun. And I still have those Boy Crazy cards. That was where I was
So
going.
what's your to go on that? What's your ideal boy?
Oh man. So I mean, at that time.
At that time, of course.
Yeah, someone like Justin Timberlake. I mean, he was just becoming solo at that time.
Was he still a boy, though?
Yeah,
Kind of blue-eyed, blonde hair, pretty boy.
He was a boy until like he was like 33.
That's fair.
To be honest.
Yeah.
So
When he grew that goatee.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think he still has that goatee, doesn't he?
Probably.
I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, you had a collectible question that I completely like.
I was just going to say, what's a guilty pleasure of yours? But you
Oh, I just
bowled
gave
a strike,
you,
yeah.
And I don't even know if it's a guilty pleasure because I mean, I came to it without even like.
Yes, you did.
Oh boy.
Great.
Where's the next sauce?
I don't know.
All right, this is Ghost Valley jalapeno, and from what I understand, there's no ghost pepper, just jalapeno. But we'll see how this one rolls.
Here we go. This is a halfie, right?
Yeah.
All right. I feel like I'm just dipping it in all the other sauces that have dripped
You
out.
should for the very last one, just like, oh god, just smother it in the
Just soak the fucking thing.
drain. Yeah.
Ghost Valley. Ghost Valley. That sounds like a dope like TV show, with
Ghost
like
Valley?
with like Sam Elliott or something, like Tombstone. That's good.
Kind of reminds me of the green cheeses.
Not as spicy.
No, it's actually that could have gone earlier in the thing, but it's good flavor.
Yeah, it is good.
All right, I'm very excited about this question.
Oh my god.
All right, so you and I have been at odds about social media and its usage for years.
Jesus.
So here's an honest question.
Okay.
What responsibility do you think individuals have when it comes to using any platform for any reason?
Responsibility. See, that's hard for me.
That's why I phrased
that.
it like
I
that.
know. Because obviously I'm not the most responsible as far as what I say on social media. Because to me it's just one big joke. And I can take jokes too far, I often do. I'm sure you know that. Yeah. And but as far as what it should be, I mean, we should all be decent human beings. But like how can you regulate that, and that, you know, what's the threshold of what a decent human being is? So when it comes to social media, I mean, to me, I do keep up on friends. I post stuff that's actually meaningful from time to time, once in a while. But for me, it's just one big joke. So I make jokes. I think life's a big joke. I have fun with it. But I like to think that if you can't laugh at it, especially while people are watching, it's just kind of more of a waste of time. You know what I mean?
So you don't think that people have a responsibility? So
I understand.
let's go beyond even just social media. Like when people have any kind of platform where they reach a lot of people,
Sure.
do you think there's a responsibility in here, or do you think that everyone, no matter how many people they reach, can treat it like a joke and that's fine?
Yes.
So you think that, like, let's say that you are someone with a platform who you regularly reach 100 million people.
It can be abused. I'm not saying.
I'm just asking,
Yeah,
do
yeah.
you think that no matter what the level is, do you think that there is no responsibility for that person? Do you think that...
Well, if you're the president of the United States, you can't be saying shit like "grab her by the pussy."
So you do think, depending on your level of platform, there is a responsibility?
Sure. It maybe. Yeah. I mean,
Because level doesn't have to be...
celebrity. Yeah.
Well, level doesn't even have to be like how many people you reach. It can be what your position is.
Sure.
I mean, it can be...
Right.
Yeah.
So like if LeBron James says something that it could be deemed what am I trying to say? Not confident.
Controversial?
Controversial. Sorry. Thank you. I don't care. I don't think he should shut up and play basketball. I think that's a stupid, asinine thing to say. He has a right to his opinion, but I don't think people should take him seriously because he's a guy. He's just another guy who has an opinion on stuff. You know, you can either listen to him or not.
What do you think about warnings that either websites or companies put on things to let people know this might not be factual content? Do you think that in any way that's helpful or necessary? I mean, this is, obviously Joe Rogan's one of the examples where
Sure.
they're putting something at the beginning of his podcast and the people are like, oh, that's censorship. But do you think,
Well,
I compare it to like when you put a rating on a movie, right?
Right.
You're just letting people know what they're in for,
sure.
right? So you're not actually changing the content. You're just letting people know that there might be stuff in here that isn't real.
Right.
Or there might be stuff in here, there could be nudity or
Sure.
whatever.
I think as long as it doesn't limit the accessibility, because to compare like nudity to Joe Rogan, is kind of apples to oranges, and nudity is kind of taboo. And Joe Rogan, I don't listen to him a lot. Very seldom do I listen to him, and the things I've heard when I personally have listened to his shows, haven't been too Jesus Christ. Give me a second.
But no, they're definitely confident. He's a very confident individual.
Well, not necessarily. He can be, but there are times he's humbled. You know, he has a lot of smart people on that show, and
he does.
And you know, sometimes
he has a lot of other people on that show too.
Absolutely. But you know, I think something like that, it's just information, and sure, there can be misinformation, but it's kind of up to us to sift through that. And as long as the accessibility doesn't change, I think it's fair to be like, hey, just in case, this could be not correct. I don't think that's a big problem, as long as it doesn't change the accessibility. Because I don't think, you know, nudity, you know, people feel a certain way about like sex on TV or violence or whatever, and that's fine. I could see that being like less accessible than like something like just two dudes talking. You know what I mean?
What if they're talking about sex or murder?
Well, you got me. I got to think about that.
Yeah, no, I got you. Next up, we have horned lizard, which is a spicy Cajun hot sauce.
That's tight.
Cajun. That'll do it is the name of this. I don't know if it's a fake company or because there's like different company names on these, but I'm pretty sure they're just made by one company. I don't know.
I better grab a wing here. I think I ate that whole wing. Oh wait, are we past that?
What?
Weren't we supposed to do halves on one?
Yeah. Oh man, that was.
Did you do? Is that a half?
This is a half.
Okay, I messed up then because I was hungry. Apparently, did this just shoot out?
Yeah.
Horned lizard, horny lizard. That is horny. All right. God, it's so drippy, so watery. I want a thick sauce, Dennis.
I understand you want a thick sauce, just dribbling down your lips.
Mm-hmm.
Right, yep.
So, Dennis and I worked together for about 10 years.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. And before that, I've always felt like I was blessed with like good friends and family. And obviously now we're like really, really, really good friends, best friends even. And that's kind of been...
on camera.
I'm on camera. Hopefully these are recording this time.
Otherwise it's not.
Mm-hmm. But it was definitely a pleasant, you know, unexpected occurrence to run into people like you and like Cody, who are now like my best friends. Especially when I had best friends, and you know, you can never have too many friends, but like, I just thought I was blessed already. So what is like a very unexpected positive thing that has happened throughout your life? Something that you thought that you were like maybe not satiated in, but like fine with, or you know, satisfied, but then you get something a little more and you're like, you know what, this is what I needed.
Wow. Now I feel like
I just thought of that right now.
Well, you just thought of that?
I just thought of that. No.
I mean, I feel like I'm blessed with the people in my life too, but I'm trying to... I don't know. Honestly, like, now, of course, because of the way that I think of the opposite. Like, what are the things that I feel like other people got that I didn't? Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And, like, I feel like I have a big chip on my shoulder because, like, I never had a mentor. Do you know what I mean? Like I read a lot of things about writing because I'm a writer, and sometimes I'm like, oh, I learned something, and sometimes I'm like, this person is full of garbage. But a lot of these people talk about their mentors or talk about, you know, mentoring, and I feel like I've done a lot of like work with other people. Like if they need help, I'm usually there, but I've never had that person in my life to kind of help guide me through all my creative things. I've had to do those on my own. Mm-hmm. And so like I've realized recently I have like a chip on my shoulder because I feel like I am blessed with a lot of the people that I have in my life, and I just never had that person to kind of like help me, especially when things like were tough. Mm-hmm. And so I don't know if maybe like I'll be like 80 and I'll get like a 90-year-old mentor and I'll be like, oh my God, I was waiting for this. So if anything, I guess I'm kind of like, that's one of the things that I'm still waiting for. Yeah. Like someone who can kind of be like, oh yeah, like I kind of understand what you're about and I can help you do that better. I've never come across that kind of person before.
That's interesting because like when I think of like mentoring and whatever and growing up, I think I don't know if I'd consider like I love my dad. I don't know if I consider him like a mentor like in my creative aspects, even though he was, you know, a musician also, is a musician. But I think I almost like maybe even rejected the idea of like getting mentored or even outside help.
I think you do when you're young.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But I feel like I still kind of do that. I mean, we bounce back and forth a lot now, but I still kind of, I'm more to myself when it comes to like doing creative things.
Well, I think that's reflective too, because even if you and I are bouncing off each other, if it's a project that we're working on, we will ultimately go with the thing that we wanted to do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Although we have like times where like we were doing the cover for Cold World, and I was like, I think I'd like it like that better, and you did it that way, and you're like, I like it that way better. I'm like, I kind of like it the other way that you already
Yeah,
did. So
that's
like
right.
sometimes it kind of goes like that, where you're like, oh wow, we kind of just taught each other something. Like so now we got to pick something. But in general, I think both you and I, even when we work with other people, which for me isn't often at all, but when it happens, if we come to that crossroads where we have to make a decision, I'm going to make my decision because that's the way I do
That's
things.
kind of one-man band syndrome. I
Yeah,
think is what we
100%.
have.
And so I find myself going down that path, and I wish it wasn't the way. And I know that's not the reason I don't collaborate more. I just haven't found more collaborators.
Sure.
But at the same time, I would like to find a collaboration where it's like, okay, I can just like trust you with things and not have to be like, we're at the crossroads. It's my way.
Do you want to make something together?
Sure. Not a podcast.
Oh, damn it. I was just going to say that.
All right, so this is the first of the two habaneros.
Okay.
This one I feel like will have a better flavor. This is a garlic habanero.
Have you drank out of this yet?
No, are you going to drink out of it?
I'm just going to pour some in mine.
I mean, I drank my...
I'm just thirsty, just really.
Yep, we got habanero here. So
Cool. So maybe a little hot?
I'm back to full-size nuggies here.
I'm not. I keep eating them because I'm stupid.
Oh my god. Keep eating your corn.
We're sauce behind, so I need to eat a half nuggie.
Yeah, if you guys are just tuning in right now, because you're flipping through the channels on your YouTube, and you're here, we accidentally filmed the first two sauces when we weren't quite ready yet. We had some technical difficulties. So,
Yeah, Summer Jacket.
so we refilmed the first two sauces and questions.
Oh, shit. Cool. What's this called again? Desert Sundance. Garlic. I love garlic. Put garlic in a lot of stuff, too.
That's good. Every time I think of like desert, I think of Sting. I dream of rain.
Really?
You know?
I don't know.
You know that song?
I can't. This doesn't stop. Damn it, I ate the whole wing. Or a nugget. I'm stupid. You have to remind me. I'm not.
I don't have to do anything. If anything, if you run out of nuggets,
I'm just going to put it on my finger.
No, you have to
Just
drink it. Yep.
Fuck, I can't do that again.
Yeah, you can.
No.
That was your question.
That
so
wasn't that hot. Honestly, I'd probably put this like number 1 or number 2 as far as heat.
This one is this was from Holly. This is her question here. If you could claim credit for any one song, what would it be, and why would you pick that song?
That's interesting. Like just any song.
Like any song that's ever been written.
I wrote that.
Yeah, if you could be like, that was from me, and like that was your gift to the world, what song would you pick and why?
That's very, very hard.
So I was gonna change the question and make it just like anything in pop culture, so it could be like
Yeah.
a book or game or whatever.
Right.
But that's too vast.
It's pretty broad.
So this is specific. Like if you could just pick a song, that would
Yeah.
be like your legacy.
Okay, if I could pick a song, I would probably pick... Oh, that's tough. Because one of the bands I was most into was probably Green Day. And I haven't, like, experienced, like, fandom within myself for music outside of that. And I don't listen to a lot of music, but I love music and, I love bands and whatever. I don't know if I have a favorite band. But I remember I got super stoked this one time. So obviously their album Dookie came out in like 94 or something. Then their album after that, Insomniac, came out like a year later. And me and my cousin Trey were listening to the radio in our grandma's
But
house.
your cousin's Trey Cool?
Yeah. He drums for Green Day.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
My cousin Trey Cool. He's called Black Trey Cool though. Because he's black. Yeah. So we were listening to the radio. And he was just as pumped as I was, probably because I was so pumped. I was just jacked, like waiting for this Green Day song on whatever 93X or whatever it was. But it was Geek Stink Breath, and when I heard it, like I jumped up and I was like, "Oh my god, yeah!" Toward the point where I was like missing the song because I was just being super loud. So I'd probably say like Geek Stink Breath, just because when it came out, it hit me super super hard.
So that's the song that you want to be like your legacy?
Sure, even though it wasn't like a greatest Green Day song. Like, they don't play it,
Yeah.
But, I don't know.
You know what song I would pick?
What?
Happy Birthday.
Oh. You just walk around Benihana's all day. That's my... Actually, they don't sing Happy Birthday there, do they? They sing... They do this... What is it? You know, Happy Birthday. That song.
Any song with Happy Birthday in it would be...
You just walk in and be like, copyright Dennis.
Yep.
And you just do this.
The thing is, like, if whoever wrote Happy Birthday did a bad job of crediting themselves, because nobody knows who wrote it, right?
No.
Like, I mean...
No. It's copywritten. They can't even sing it in movies.
But what I'm saying is that, do you know who wrote Happy Birthday?
Oh, no, for sure not.
So that person did a bad job, right?
Fair.
No one says, oh, you know, Ode to Joy, Beethoven, right?
Right.
Happy Birthday.
Steve Starks.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Dennis Vogen.
If I wrote that song, everyone would know I wrote it. If anything, I'd just put my name in it or something. Yeah. And so every time
Happy
I'd
Dennis
say...
Vogen. Birthday. That's funny.
Right, so this one should be one of the hottest ones we have. This is the Wild Saguaro Habanero hot sauce.
You gotta say it with like a saguaro.
Saguaro.
Is that saguaro?
Saguaro. I can't even do it.
Can you not roll your R's?
I can.
Oh. That was hot. My clitoris jumped out.
Oh, wow.
Saguaro. Yeah, that's tight.
I can't.
Wild saguaro habanero. Hot sauce.
Please. To that camera there.
Saguaro. Let me look at my camera. Camera one. Saguaro.
Ooh.
Yeah. Can you hear that? We're not saying it anymore.
Who's we?
I don't know. Just let me
Eat half.
Thank you for reminding me because I would have fucking blew that.
Eat half.
Ooh, this is a little thicker.
Yeah, I told you. I think this is going to be...
All right, I can't get any more out of there.
Yeah, you can.
I'm eating half. It's going to take over the whole way.
Look at this, dude. I'm just going to... Oh, look, I'm just going to go for it. I'm just going to go for it.
Looks like ketchup and barbecue sauce.
Okay. Soup's on, yep.
Let's go.
No!
What? Oh, that's hot. Damn it! Shit. I ate a whole one. I'm not drinking a bottle of this. Half. That's definitely got like the flavor of the bomb.
Okay.
The bomb hot sauce. Not as hot though. You alright?
You see how much I put on there? Ooh, baby.
Well, you drenched it, yeah, but...
Ooh, that was for sure the hottest one we had.
Really? Yeah.
Remember that one time?
It's creeping.
Oh, man. Okay.
It's not hot.
Okay, remember that one time I ate
At band camp?
No.
Okay.
Don't touch your eyes. Remember that one time I ate a Carolina Reaper?
Yeah.
And then Cody ate one? But it was really a Fruity Pebble size.
He licked one?
bite.
Yeah.
There's video evidence of this, by the way. You just did that to me again. What? You put like a little dab on there.
I'd eat half, and then
you
I didn't eat half.
You tried to fight. Oh.
It wasn't intentional.
You tried to gaslight me into saying it's not. That's actually really hot, man.
Do you want me to try it? I'll dab a little on my finger. Where is it? Here, last.
No, not a dab. I want you to like.
You want me to like pour it in my hand?
Uh huh.
No, let me do this.
No, pour it in your hand.
I'm not gonna pour it. Lick my hand.
Pour it in your hand.
Here, look. Is that good enough? Right there.
There you go.
Okay.
My tears are. My tears aren't from the hotness, though. My tears are from the lotion.
I swallowed wrong. Oh, that is hotter.
Say that again.
That's hotter.
That is hotter.
It's hotter. It's hotter.
Oh man.
It has that flavor where it's like tangy, like the bomb hot sauce.
Did you say tangy?
Tingy. Like,
that's easily the hottest
cigarette
one.
ash. That's decent.
Yeah. You have a question for me or what?
I do. Okay.
Wait, are we?
What?
Yeah. I think we flipped or something.
Flipped what?
Nothing.
Questions?
No. Oh no, we're good.
No, we're good. Okay. Pick your favorite movie or even movie franchise.
Oh.
And then favorite video game. You're not really fit. You play a little bit of video games.
Older games, but yeah.
Favorite video game franchise. Mash them together. What do you get?
Oh man.
Getting a little nerdy for you guys.
So
that is hotter than all the other ones.
Yeah, like for sure. Like yeah, it's not even close. I mean, what was that one down here? That was the Howling was a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. But these were all like I would eat any of these just normally and enjoy the flavor.
I enjoy the hot, so I would like this one.
No, it's good.
All right, so I mean, when I go to film franchises, I immediately go to Star Wars. Especially lately, I've just been such a Star Wars.
That's funny because you never like super highly praise Star Wars, but you don't super shit on it either. You're just kind of like
I don't think I've ever shit on Star Wars ever. I'm one of those people who are like, I don't think there is such thing as bad Star Wars. I think there's just Star Wars to varying degrees, from okay to this is phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just because I think that the world, that galaxy that they've built is just so versatile, and you can just talk about so many things. I mean, the Force is like the best representative of spirituality that I could ever think of, because it's not like a deity, it's just something that exists around us, and like the fact that like good and evil exist within it. Like there's just a lot to it. And yeah, I mean, I love Star Wars. So Star Wars combined with like Banjo-Kazooie or like Star Fox. I mean, Star Fox is basically Star Wars already, but like Star Fox is one of my favorite games ever.
Pretty tight, yeah.
Yes, I mean, like I couldn't even combine those two, but like maybe like something like Banjo-Kazooie or like, what's another game? I mean, in high school I would play a lot more games. So I'm thinking of like 64, and how about like something like Smash Brothers? You got like Star Wars and Smash Brothers. So you just got like, you know, Jedi and Sith and clone troopers and droids, and they're just beating the shit out of each other on like Endor on a 2D platform. I'd play that shit out of that.
So is that like your elevator pitch right there for?
Yeah, like Star Wars Rumble or something, right? Like, that's a terrible name, right? It's already called Wars. It could just be called Star Wars.
Star Wars.
They're already fighting.
Capital Wars.
I mean, I like that.
Super Star Wars.
So I would combine Star Wars and Super Smash Brothers to make a game. So make that happen. I know they made Star Wars fighting games before, but
has they?
Yeah, but like think of like Mortal Kombat, like 2D.
Yeah.
But something like Smash Brothers.
Games? Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I've never played that or seen it.
I mean, if there's comments on this, someone's gonna be like, he's wrong.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that they have made Star Wars fighting games before. We have got 2 sauces left.
Mm-hmm. And I gotta eat half.
Okay, so no, don't even eat half. You should eat like do a little nibble off the end, and then save most of it for the last one, because the last one's gonna be bad.
You think it's gonna be bad?
The very last one?
Okay.
Yeah, the scorpion one. Yeah.
Here, I'll see this little nub right there.
Yeah, just do the nub.
So what is that called? Like a peninsula, archipelago, or peninsula, or something?
Archipelago, I'm pretty sure is outside of the coast, but I mean, I could be wrong.
Fair enough. There, is that cool?
Yeah, just do that little corner. Like, just really think about what you're doing before you bring that nugget up to your mouth, please. Just think about it. Yeah. Think about what you're doing. It's like being on Hot Ones with Homer Simpson. Stop eating it all.
You know what? That'd be a good mashup. Simpsons and Smash Brothers.
Oh, I thought you were going to say
Simpsons
in Hot Ones.
Well, that's just like Hot Ones. Oh yeah, no, that'd be funny.
Okay, this is the Texas red pepper fiery hot sauce.
Did Hank Azaria do an episode of Hot Ones? Mm-hmm. I don't know why I feel like he did. Dude, Google that. I feel like he did. No, we can do that later. Let us know in the comments. See wrong.
My last question for you is, what is one job that you think everyone should have to work, and for how long should they have to work it to truly understand it?
Okay. So I think the obvious answer, I don't know if I'm going to go with that, is probably like the service industry. That's what everybody says. But I think it's got to be like lower than that.
What do you mean by lower? Like, how are you scaling jobs?
Dirtier, I guess. Like,
is this where you
like
start
sewage,
talking about
like
Pornhub?
sewage plumber, like something just like.
But why?
Like micro.
Like to what end?
It's just more humbling.
Because I said, what do you think is a job that people should have to do? So you think, be specific.
Yeah. Okay. So like. Just like waste control. Like you're in the sewer, there's a blockage of human,
And then how long do you
excrements.
think a person would have to do that job to actually appreciate it and appreciate like the rest of their life?
I'll say like a month. A month is enough to make you fucking crack. And if you make it out, you're just like, dude.
I mean, you have people who are in sewage for 30, 40, 50 years. God bless you all. I mean.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So, I mean, like,
How long would they have to do it for? I mean,
just like a month.
Well, yeah, like a month. Because, it's like the serving, like we've served and bartending and stuff, and like, you do deal with all sorts of folk. But like, I just feel like when you're taking care of people's like excrements, there's like a tier, and you feel, maybe they don't, I don't know, I feel like I would feel lower than everybody on planet Earth if I'm like dealing with your shit.
Yeah, but okay, so to give you a counterpoint, that same sewage waste management person can go to your restaurant and treat you like a piece of garbage.
Sure.
And now you're lower than that person.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? That's why when you were talking about lower, I was like, what?
Yeah,
how are you tiering this?
But have you met, like, shitty service industry people?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, anyone who's been in the industry long enough knows that when someone sits down and say, I'm in the industry,
Done.
that's either, hold on, it's either they'll be one of the best people you've ever met or they'll be one of the worst people you have ever had to wait on.
Yeah.
There's like no in between. They're just amazing or they're just incredibly awful.
Yeah.
And that's very true. So as soon as someone says to me, I'm in the industry, I'm like, ooh. Usually they'll get to know you first and then they'll tell you, and that's usually the good kind. It's not like the first thing they say out of their mouth.
Yeah.
Usually when they say that first, you're like, well, I'm done. Like, might as well just go to bed because this day's over.
My favorite is when not only do they say I'm in the service industry, but they kind of gloat like I'm the best at my job.
And then you find out they like were working at a bar for a month during college, and you're like, no, that's not. And it was like their uncle's bar. Like they couldn't have gotten fired if they tried. And you're like, nah, man.
I know one of those.
All right. Here we go. If you've been watching this show for a long time, you're a liar because it's the first time we've ever done this. Yeah. But we call this one the Sizzling Scorpion.
That's what I call my junk. Wait.
It does, actually.
Shit, hold on.
That's really weird that you... how do they know that you call your junk this?
Scorpion.
I saved this one for last because it says Scorpion on it, so I'm going to guess that it's going to be very hot. And if not, then we just built up to nothing. We should just eat the habanero one again.
Should we just do a pool of all of them and just...
No, let's try it. Let's try it individually.
All right. Here we go.
Yep, we got it. All right, you got it. This is like the last dab moment, so you got to douse it.
Oh, I'm going to fucking douse this shit.
Good.
Here.
Yes, feel it. Oh, yeah.
Both sides?
Wow, both sides. I'll do both sides.
Here, baby.
How come this look like McDonald's chicken nuggets? They've been sitting here for so long. They just do shit at McDonald's. They're going to sue us.
They're learning how to talk.
Okay, so hold on.
Get on there. Quit being a bitch.
There we go.
Yeah, tip the whole fucking thing. Are you going to use these ever again?
What?
Ooh, look at that.
Oh, man. All right, let's do it. Cheers.
Perfect. Do you have a question or is it my turn?
It's your
What was your last question?
job one.
Oh, you're right. Okay. To get a little realer now. We had a couple real ones at the beginning. Had fun. Now I want to ask you a real one.
Okay. Oof.
As a creative person, what overall message or feeling or aura or whatever you want to call it, what do you hope to give to the world and that they will like remember or feel?
I think the word you just said, like hope. I think that's been like a theme in a lot of, like you can't really understand what you're doing big picture until you kind of have more elements in there. So I'm already able to look back at my work because I'm putting out my 8th and 9th book and I already have, 7 other stories out there. And I think hope kind of resonates in all of them. I don't know, just the thought that like there is going to be a tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? Like in that, like you can get there. Like it just seems very simple. I'm trying to think of like a more elegant way to say it, but there is one. Like just the idea that like you should hang in there. Like I'm gonna hang in there. Like if you promise to do the same thing, like we can get to tomorrow together.
Right.
And so all of my books have kind of just been variations on that theme. I think it's endless. I don't think there's any way that you can exhaust that idea. Because every day is a struggle. Every day you get up and you're like, this kind of sucks. Even if your life is great, there's still some elements of it where you wake up and you're like, I don't want to do that again.
Sure.
And so I just keep minding that, and I find other thematic qualities to kind of be my focus, whether it's spirituality or whether, we said before, like my character defects. So things like alcoholism and depression and anger issues and cancer, like the Weirdos does. Just finding different avenues to find hope through at the end. I think that's kind of what I do. And kind of having a sense of humor in it too. Because even, when there are days where I don't think that I'm gonna make it to tomorrow, and then I think of something that makes me laugh, and I'm like, why would I have possibly thought that?
Yeah.
There's going to be a tomorrow.
Right.
There's always going to be a tomorrow. Whether I'm here for it or not, there's going to be a tomorrow, so I might as well be here to see it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that will hopefully be the legacy of all those books. Just hope.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
That was the last sauce.
Yeah, that was good. They're all pretty good.
Yeah. I would definitely say that habanero one was the hottest. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to the conversation. Hey, cheers to you guys for coming along with us on this journey. Let's talk about our projects. I know that you have some music coming out.
Well, depending on when this video gets uploaded, a band I'm in, 3 Pill Morning. We have a song coming out. What day is that? Friday the 25th?
March 25th.
March 25th.
So depending on when you're seeing this, it might be out already.
Might be out already. It's called All Before. You can find it on any platform. There's also going to be a music video coming out on the 25th. And I'm writing this novel that I've been working on.
Tell us more about this novel.
More about this novel.
I would love to hear more about it.
Yeah, we'll have another Hot Ones episode. We could talk about that 10 more years from now when I actually write a second half chapter. How about you? Yeah, I know you have Brushfire and Cold World, and you have the Kickstarter live right now, and we're about halfway through it. Both time and money, I believe.
Actually, so we're winding down. So depending on when you see this, it only goes through March. So if you're seeing this and it's still March, head over to Kickstarter. You can just type in Dennis Vogen or Brushfire or Cold World. It's called Fire and Ice. You can buy one, you can buy the other, you can buy both. You can buy like a sketch variant of Brushfire where I'll actually draw you an image on your book for you. Right now I'm at $1,400 out of $2,000, so I'm only $600 short. Yeah. So if you can get on over there and give us some support, that'd be fantastic. You talk about 10 years. Speaking of 10 years, next year will be my 10-year anniversary of writing books. So there'll be some fun stuff coming there. You can check out my work at dennisvogen.com. I sell all my stuff on sites like Amazon and Barnes & Noble. So check them out wherever you get your books. And I think that's all I got.
Perfect. Cool. Well, thanks for coming over to my house, Dennis.
Thanks for letting me invite myself
and me to my house.
To your house.
Yeah. Whatever. I don't mind. All right. Next time, guys, on Dragon Ball Z. Sweet.
Let's put the logo up. Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z's nuts.